What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with episode 42 of What to Buy on eBay. We've got comic books, vintage collection, vintage Kenner items, a PSA trading card or two, a pretty good mix of stuff, and I do know a number of the sellers that I'm showing for the Buy It Now items, and some of them are pretty pricey, but I wanted to at least alert everyone who watches these videos that if you do have some deep pockets, you can reach out to me, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com, and I can put you in touch with these folks privately to try and work out a deal away from eBay to save you some money and to save them some money on eBay fees. So I just wanted to at least alert you to them, but these are nice items. I'm not showing them because they are friends of mine. I'm showing them because they are really awesome items, and I think that if you can work out a transaction away from eBay, the price will be right in line with where I would be willing to spend myself. So that's the background on that. And again, if you have any interest on some of these later items, just send me an email and I can put you in touch. Let's go ahead and dig in. The first one we got, this is an interesting one. This is a custom case from Collector Archive Services, graded CAS 90, VC177, Din Djarin. This is the Walmart exclusive. What's interesting about this one is that, you know, if you bought this from Walmart originally, they included this weird little pin of Grogu, and somebody sent that pin in along with the actual item, which is the VC177, to be custom encased by CAS, and it's graded 90 overall. 90, 90, 95 are the subscores. So I hadn't seen this before. I'm not sure if I'd really want this personally, but I thought it was interesting enough that I wanted to show it because it is at auction right now. 6 days, 10 hours left as of the making of this video. It ends on Tuesday. $51 plus $10.85 shipping right now. He also has a Bo Katan graded AFA 9.0 on the modern scale. That one is also at auction. It's at $76 plus $10.85 shipping. So, you know, again, a couple of nice high-grade TVC items that, you know, might be of interest to you. But this is the first time I've seen the VC177 actually encased with that little pin that was given away as part of that purchase. Next up, I don't know what's going on with this one. I just wanted to show it because it's so bizarre. But this is like some kind of weird custom that, admittedly, the card back is really cool looking, but it's labeled as a TB custom Star Wars from 2021 of Din Djarin, and it's actually graded, which you know, in my personal opinion, Collector Archive Services should not be grading something like this. If they want to archive it, that's fine, but I sort of have a problem with something like this being graded. It's not a bootleg. I mean, I guess it's kind of a modern custom, so to speak, but in my opinion, the grading companies should not be grading these. That's how I feel about it. But it is graded 90. Take that for what you will. I mean, I'm sure it's appropriately labeled and everything, and it is certainly a cool-looking item. But right now, it's already at $51 with $10.85 shipping. With 6 days and 11 hours left as of the making of this video. Me personally, I'm not paying money for that, but I just wanted to show it because, in my opinion, it probably should not be something that receives a grade. But that's, you know, again, I send in bootlegs to be graded, so who's to say that I'm any better than these guys, you know? But I do send in vintage Polish bootlegs and things like that to be graded by CAS because they're the only ones that'll do it other than UKG over across the pond. But I'm pretty sure that UKG or AFA would not grade these, and I think that CAS should do the same thing. It's just, to me, it's not something that should be graded. Anyway, back to the action. We got Star Wars Han Solo adaptation number 1. This is the adaptation of the movie, and this is the standard cover A. It's at auction. It's only 99 cents right now with 5 days and 6 hours left. But, you know, if you want the first appearance of young Lando, the first appearance of Kira, Dryden Voss, I believe it's his first appearance or his first cameo. It's a good cover. I've got this one in my collection. It's certainly come way down in price. I bet you can pick this up for $100 or less. But I actually like the cover a lot, and I think it's a good book to have at the right price. And in the current environment, you definitely want to spend money on comics at auction, not buy it now situations. That being said, the last two I've bought were buy it now situations, so what do I know? But I did want to show that because it's a great book and it's way down in price right now. Next up is an AFA 85 77 back B Biker Scout. This is not the Lily Letty made in Mexico for the U.S. market. That was the 65 back B. I don't know how this one got an 85. The card's got a little bit of curl or something going on. I think it's just the Anakin sticker on the back is kind of applied, at an angle, so it makes it look like the card is a little off kilter, but it is a clear blister. As you can see, they're straight 85s for the sub score, and it is a punched example with the SKU cover up on the top left, which we've covered in a past video here recently. A little bit of card curl to it, but it's hard to find this one in a clear blister. And right now it's at auction, one bid $300 with 5 days and 6 hours left. I don't know what this one's going to sell for, quite honestly. I mean, I could see this one going for a lot of money because this is not the Letty, and the Lettys usually stay clear blister. But the US cardbacks do not. They usually do turn yellow, and this one has not turned yellow yet. So anyway, it's at $300, $12.45 shipping. I don't know. I could see this one going for $450 pretty easily. So I'll be sure to circle back on that one to see what it goes for. Next up is Star Wars number 7 in a CGC 9.8. This is the first expanded universe comic. So not the first non-adaptation comic book. I think that's kind of a nice piece of history, and it shows Han Solo and Chewbacca. Very 70s vibe. And this is from 1978. This is at auction as well. $59 right now. 5 days, 6 hours left. I'm guessing this one's going to sell for around $125 to $150. This book has come way down as well, just like everything else. But it's a great cover. It just screams 1970s vibe to it. And, it's a secondary key. It's certainly not a primary key, but I do think it's kind of a cool book. And it is kind of nice to have the first expanded universe story in title. So, again, what that means is that it's a non-adaptation. 1 through 6 were the adaptation of A New Hope, and then this would be the first book that came in after that, before the Empire Strikes Back adaptation came in, which I believe was in issue number 39. Next up is a PSA 9 card. This is from 1980, the top series, card number 220. Bounty Hunter Boba Fett. It kind of shows him on the mean streets of Bespin during the scene with Luke Bespin, with the Han and Carbonite trying to get away from him. This one's at 99 cents. One bid so far, 5 days, 5 hours left. Very high grade, and I think that one will probably go for $50 to $75, somewhere in that ballpark. Excuse my voice. But I think that's a pretty good looking card, and will probably go fairly cheap. Next up, this is an interesting one. This is a 1980s Star Wars UK card for Yoda. So pretty classic card. It's kind of an undersized card, miniature card, but we all know that pose from Yoda in the Dagobah Swamps. It's kind of a timeless classic. And the fact that it's a foreign card in high grade, it's a PSA 9. Right now it's at $50, one bid with 5 days and 3 hours left in this one. I have no idea how to value this. These don't come up ever. So take a look at that one. I think that's a pretty good one. As always, make sure you vet the sellers, and I'll put the item numbers in the video description in case you want to go check them out on eBay. This seller has the pack-ins for the Razorcrest. This is the Off-World Jawa Elder, unpunched, obviously. The card looks to be in excellent shape, although it's only one photo, so keep that in mind. But it's at auction. This one, this video is going to release on Friday afternoon, and this auction is going to end Friday evening. So it ends at Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's going to be very quick after this video goes live. But this one's at $35.41 right now with $5.65 shipping. So if you're looking for those two Razorcrest pack-ins, he's got the Jawa, and he also has the Grogu from the Razorcrest with the chrome prom, unpunched again, and looks to be in good shape. But again, only one photo, so take that for what you will. That one's at $45.41. Again, those two auctions end Friday evening. So this evening, if you're watching this video live. Next up, we've got VC115 Darth Vader. It looks like it's got a little bit of damage maybe around that hang tab. It is a punched example, the US card. Rest of the card looks pretty clean, but just keep in mind, it looks like it might have just a little bit of wear around the hang tab there. It looks like it's a crease, soft crease on the back of it. It looks like it shows up just a little bit on the front too. So don't overbid on this one. This one's already at $102.50. My gut tells me that the bidders have not seen that crease, but I probably wouldn't go much higher. I probably maybe $125 or so at the top end. In really near mint condition, unpunched, these can go for what, like $180 to $200 minimum. So bid accordingly, but just be careful not to overbid since it does have a crease at the top. Next up is Disruptor. He always has really nice high-grade modern Star Wars items. He's got an uncirculated 8.5 Target exclusive Black Series Boba Fett droids figure. I love the way this is encased with the flap open to show the card art. It's got it looks like it's got Vlix and C-3PO and R2-D2 there. It's just a really awesome looking example, and I love the colors on this one. Here's the back of the box there. So this one's at auction. Again, it's an uncirculated 8.5 on the modern scale. It's at $127.50, and this one also ends Friday evening. So $25 shipping. So right now it's at about $150. I'm guessing this is going to go somewhere in the $175 to $200 range. He also has another one of the Boba Fett's in disguise, and this is a really nice one. I like the droids one better. I think that one presents nicer since it has the inner tray to kind of hold everything in place, whereas this one, it doesn't have anything. It's just got little zip ties, which I don't like as much, but it's still a nice looking figure. Certainly presents well inside the AFA case. Uncirculated 8.5. That one's at $58 with $25 shipping. Next up, we've got a High Republic #1. This is the Han's variant cover. Now's a good time to pick this one up. It's got 6 first appearances. It's at $29 right now with 3 days and 22 hours left. Lots of good first appearances and a great cover. And you might be able to get this one for $60 to $75. That's a really good book to get in a low-risk proposition. Next up is Droids #1. I was talking offline with somebody about this one. Actually, Jason, who's a Patreon supporter. And we both agree that this is an undervalued book. This is the first issue from the Droids cartoon. And pretty great looking cover there. This one's at $16. Five bids on that one. $14.50 is the shipping on it. It's a CGC 9.8. This is the direct edition. But again, this is the first appearance of Josh Allen and Governor Cug. No idea who they are, but this is a nice tie-in for the Droids TV series, and it's issue #1. And I think it's one of those issues that's really underrated and undervalued. Next up is an AFA 80+, no COO Stormtrooper with the brand new case style. It's at auction, 5 days, 2 hours left. The starting bid is $70 with $12.45 shipping. There's been no bid so far. That's a nice high grade. Very tough to get high grade Stormtroopers these days. And it's the harder to find no COO that would appear on like Palatoys or Tri-Logos. So keep an eye on that one. That one, if you can get that one for a good deal, you know, maybe $100 to $150, somewhere in that ballpark, that's a good buy. Next up is a Luke Farm Boy baggie with the Made in Hong Kong lettering. The lettering's kind of starting to fade on it, so this is probably a 75 or low 80 grade baggie. Right now it's at $202.50 with 5 days and 5 hours left with $10.65 shipping, but it's completely heat sealed baggie. I think this is the SWD baggie, and pretty nice looking example there, so keep an eye out there. Next up, we've got the high-end items. The high-end items. This is a Imperial Commander on the Lily Letty card back, graded AFA 75. Doesn't get much better than this. That's a really nice foreign variant. Very tough to find these mint on card in high grade, and a 75 is a high grade, believe me. That one's at $1,050 with 6 days and 4 hours left. I have no idea what it's going to sell for, but I'm going to guess $2,000 plus. Beautiful example there if you're into those foreign mint on card variants. I do have these available that I want to show you, and these are a Patreon supporter. They're both graded uncirculated 95s. These belong to Keith Guppy, who was a live stream guest in my 5K live stream. These are for sale on eBay right now at £1,600. If you want to do a deal away from eBay, send me an email, actionfiguregrader@gmail.com. But he's got the Salacious Crumb, which is a U95, and then he also has the Mouse Droid, which is a U95, uncirculated 95 grades. So very, very high grades, but he can work out a deal with you privately if you wish. Just shoot me an email, and you can probably work something out away from eBay. Next up is an AFA 70 mint in sealed box Death Star Station playset. This is a really incredible item. Must be a huge box, but again, it's an AFA 70 mint in sealed box. There's 5 days, 5 hours left on this one. The bid right now is $12.75 plus another $75 shipping. If you got the deep pockets, that's a pretty incredible item. That's the first time I think I've ever seen one of these pop up for sale, AFA graded at auction. He also has the Millennium Falcon. This one is qualified graded 80, and this has got the Empire Strikes Back packaging with the Bespin scene. This one's at $7.15 and change with 5 days and 5 hours left. I would assume this is probably going to sell somewhere in the $2,000 range. Here is the CIB, or the Qualified Scale Certificate of Authenticity from AFA. So it's unused contents, but the seal around the box has come loose. So it's a qualified 80 grade. But look how beautiful that is. That is just timeless. and I expect that one to really shoot up in price by the end of that auction. And then the other one I have, the other two I have available, these are also Patreon supporters that if you want to take a look at them offline with him or make a deal offline. Although I would argue this one's probably not too far off of market value. This is a 70+ Luke Skywalker with the double telescoping saber. Right now it's listed for $1,600. Make an offer. There's 5 watchers on it. I think $1,600 is a little bit high, but not too far off. I think an AFA 75 should go for about that amount. But again, if you have any interest in this, I'm really good friends with this seller. He's bought a number of items from me, very trustworthy, known him for a long time, and be happy to put you in touch with him if that one's of interest. But the big one is this one. He also has this CAS 80 orange-haired Luke Farm Boy, loose graded. This one's listed at $3,000 with 5 watchers. Now, AFA 85s I've seen sell for as high as $5,500. So this one, I actually think the price is pretty close. So if you have any interest in either one of those Lukes, reach out to me by email, and I can put you in touch with him. But that's a really beautiful orange-haired Luke. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.